Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we will go on with voice leading with 3-note structures, and this is like very connected to the last lesson where we did like voice leading in this cycle 4 in E major, with using also secondary dominance, and now we are going to E minor, and actually I have 6 pages here of voice leading in front of me, and I think I will just spread these pages across the next, this lesson and the next lesson. So actually you will get quite a lot of material here, also in the PDF, by the way. Follow the link down in the description below. There is a PDF where you'll find the materials for these 2 lessons, for today's lessons and for the next lesson. And yeah, download that, get that, and it would be really cool also to support my channel in this way, so that we can go on forever. All right. So we talked about E major tonality. What I will just play you that same stuff we talked about last lesson, but this time in E minor, that you just get a feel for that you hear that. And by the way, I have this PDF also in front of me, and I will play you that, and I will play you some examples and of this PDF of the different voice leading patterns, and we will talk about that a bit. And I will not talk about everything, of course, on these PDFs. I will not play every voice leading example here. I just want to give you an introduction, get you started with that, and give you some maybe extra explanations here. But first, just listen to this first page. I will play you the first page, and to give you this general idea, this concept, this sound of these voice leading idea, and staying in a tonality, in a key. So we have the first is just pure diatonic, E minor, Aeolian. This could go on, of course, for further, because the cycle is not closed yet. We reach E minor, but we did not have like the same inversion. And by the way, if I'm a bit quicker now in this lesson, if you have a bit trouble and don't understand what I just did actually, check out the last lesson on E major, the 3-note structures in this quintile sequence in this cycle 4. Then there are more explanations, and also there are some more links maybe to other lessons which describing more this, maybe these spacings, drop 2 and so on, what we will just use here. And I assume that you know that. So we have lessons. There are lessons where you can get the explanations. So check them out. Okay, I will just go on here for sake of completeness in a way. So E minor, going to A minor, to D major, to G major, to C major, to F sharp diminished, to B minor, to E minor again. Now E minor to A minor, D major, G major to G major, to C major, to F diminished, to B major, B minor, sorry. And actually I skipped something here. Interesting. I do the whole thing again. Now from here, I think I made this mistake here. Yeah. So there, next. again. E minor, A minor, D major, G major, C major, F sharp diminished, B minor, D minor. Okay, so going through all the diatonic chords, traditional triads, minor, major, diminished, and possibly augmented. Just the diatonic triads in the cycle 4. Okay, now adding the diatonic sevenths, which we still are in natural minor in Aeolian. So E minor, then with a minor seventh instead of the fifths, and then this whole voice leading rule will continue. Ah, that's wrong. That's E major here. One more time. A, and now we go to D, to G, C, B, diminished. Okay, I just played you the whole thing, like the whole 3 repeats of the cycle to reach the chord we started on. Drop 2 voicing, root position, 2 octaves higher, and just to also give you this sound that you understand what the whole thing is about. And I think it's a really beautiful sound. Of course, it's really cliche kind of a thing, but yeah, why it's a cliche? Because it sounds good. Maybe not in general, but there is some quality which made this thing survive. So, all right. Now we do the same thing with secondary dominants. So we have E minor triad, and then the fifth goes to the seventh, and the third has to become major. So we go out of the diatonic material, out of the diatonic scale, adding alterations. And by the way, by this we also come up with. Do we? Let me see this first. Yeah, we come up with a whole chromatic scale. Here also. The same with E minor, actually. Yeah. Okay. So if we have the diatonic material, we have just 7 notes. We don't have 5 notes, you can say. But when we have the secondary dominants, we actually have ways like explanations for every chromatic note which is not in the diatonic scale. In this case, belonging to a secondary dominant. So in a way, that's the nearest, or at least that's one explanation you should look for if you see any note which is not diatonic in the scale and used somehow in a composition. Or you compose something and then you think, oh, this note sounds nice, but it's not in the scale. So maybe what kind of secondary dominant this would be. So these are different ways to think about that. Okay. Now let me play this secondary dominant version, E minor to E dominant 7, to A minor to A dominant 7th, to D major to D dominant 7th, to G G major, to G dominant 7th, to C major, and yeah, and here I'm using actually not, I explained it in the last lesson also. Please check out the last lesson, but I tell you again here, it's the target chord. If I mean, there are two things actually. The next diatonic chord would be like an F sharp diminished triad, and an F sharp diminished triad will not serve as the sort of secondary tonic, so there is no not really like any secondary dominant really resolving to that chord, because that chord is already like has a lot of tension. And also I would have to alter my root too here with a C, because the C is not a perfect fifth to the F sharp. It's a diminished fifth. So, and a secondary dominant is always built on the perfect fifth of the target chord, you can say. And so that's the way it resolves. And it must resolve to a major or minor basic triad and maybe some added notes, but the basic triad should have a perfect fifth. That's the idea. Okay, so what I'm doing actually, when I go from C major, and I don't go to C dominant 7th or something like that. Sound very strange. I do that. It's not like, it's not what you hear. I mean, what sounds like, and that's a clear resolution. But C major, C dominant 7th, F sharp diminished. In a way, it's progressing further. It's not bad actually. You can of course you can do that. And C dominant 7 is a nice structure also used in E minor, but it's not the context. It's not working in that context. What we are working here on, like in our study. It's a different thing. So what I do, I stick to the diatonic version of that progression. So I go from C major triad to C major 7 to F sharp diminished. Yeah? So instead of the secondary dominant, I take it from the version before here on the page, the diatonic version. C major 7 going to F sharp diminished. But now I'm going to B minor, and so I have to make this diminished triad. I have to make that a dominant chord. So I have to go from the diminished fifths up to the minor 7ths, and also from the minor 3rd up to the major 3rd. So I have a F sharp dominant chord. And all these dominant chords, they all miss the perfect fifth or the fifths. But that doesn't really matter, because the dominant 7th chord doesn't really need this perfect fifth. Yeah, so that's root, major 7, minor, root, major 3rd, and minor 7. This tritone between 3rd and 7th, and together with the root is like is the essence, the core of the dominant sound. And when you see like music of Johann Sebastian Bach, for example, this structure, the dominant 7th without the 5th, is used like always. Not always, of course. Then it would be blues. This was invented later, but it's really frequently used, of course, in place of the complete dominant 7th chord with the 5ths. So you can just say goodbye to the 5th. Yeah, it's a bit sad, I know. Okay, but anyway, so we have this F sharp diminished going to F sharp dominant 7, resolving to B minor, going to B dominant 7th, and to the tonic again. Yeah? And then I could just play the whole thing up until I'm here. Then I make sure that I played all inversions in that job 2 voicing of all the different diatonic triads and this dominant sevenths without the fifth structures. Okay, I'll play you one more time the whole cycle that you just listened to that, just as it is written here on the page. Okay, E minor. Let me start again. It could sound nicer. Okay, so I played the whole thing, and particularly I really enjoy and I really like the lower octave. Yeah, to play it in that kind of a region with more the lower strings. These kind of yeah, these kind of sounds I really like. Just a small improvisation happened. Yeah, so you hear this idea of being like really in the in the key, in the tonality, and having this mostly like 3-note structures and voice leading ideas like putting movement in the bass or on the treble voice or in the middle voice, so yeah, so a bit more like maybe a polyphonic approach. Okay, let's go on with these pages here. What follows on the next 5 pages are, this is actually like a collection of different voice leadings or voice leading fragments, sometimes just 2 chords, sometimes 4, 5, 6, 7 chords, which I really like. And they are all in E minor, so, and they all use, of course, like all these, also like different functions, like augmented sixth chord, the Neapolitan chord, secondary dominance, or just diatonic material. So they're all like, you can say they are like voice leading and chord, 3-note chord studies in E minor in all kinds of different ways. And I think you could really make a whole book out of that, out of just of this material I'm teaching here now in this, or I'm giving to you here in this today's and next week's lesson. Because you can talk about every fragment here, every pattern, and the thing is, we already had this these lessons on E minor tonality, where we took this more linear approach. There was like every lesson I was discussing a certain function, like a dominant function, or the Neapolitan chord in minor, or the secondary dominant, or like the subdominant with its secondary dominant, and so on. So there were like maybe 10 or something like that lessons on E minor, and also on E major, the same thing. So kind of bulk of lessons to that topic. So I was explaining all these different kinds of functions in a certain tonality, and how I use it in a more linear way. What we do now here, we bring it in a way back to the original thinking of like chords, and all bring it all to like 3-note voicings, so harmonic structures, and but all the different like functions are of course still there, and if you do not really understand like any symbols or what's written here, please go back and really check out the lessons on these different functions of the chords, because that's something we build on top here. So I will not tell you why we use these chords, or why an A diminished triad here is functioning as a B7 flat 9 chord and whatever, and it's like or what an erased a D, like a dominant without the root, what does it mean, and so on. So actually the theory we already talked about, so that you can just go to this to the more linear approach of E minor tonality functions and chords. We are just going now to the application of everything, like voice leading rules, tonal harmony, and everything, to find nice 3-note structures, and to have beautiful voice leading, and that we can practice these structures actually. And that's actually the main point. It's not about, here are like fragments, they sound nice, you just play them and think, oh yeah, they sound nice, okay, what next? They're really like studies also. As I said, I picked them because I really liked them. I had much more, all kinds of possibilities, of course. But then I decided I want to just I want to just keep those which I really like, which are really inspiring to me to actually go more for that and practice. And so this is like a very practical like decisions or musical decisions here, which led me to this collection here. And the idea here is that you have practice material Not in the sense that you just practice that as it is written there. Maybe let's take something here. What do we take? Okay, on the third page we find like F major going to B7 without the fifths to E minor. Yeah, that's like a Neapolitan sixth chord, the F major, going to B dominant seventh without the fifth, going to E minor. So we have three chords. These three chords, they are all in drop 2, all in the drop 2 form. That's almost always here. There's just a little exceptions. Almost always you stick to the same spacing, to the same drop form. So what you have there when it's just written actually, you have three different chords. Actually, they are all different. It's a major triad. It's a dominant chord without the fifth, and it's a minor triad. Yeah, these are three different three-note structures. And remember, we have 19, so we already have like three different ones in this little progression, which I think sounds really nice. So what we can do, the first thing we can do is we stick to our drop 2 forms and take this F major triad and put it in a different inversion or a root position. Yeah, in this case, we can, for example, we can put it in this form. This is like a drop 2 voicing, second inversion of F major. Yeah, it's the next inversion. That's all the same. It's really, there's a lot of possibilities to play. I mean, a lot of fingerings, how to play these chords on the guitar. So it's actually not, as I said also before in the other lesson, it's not so much here about learning all the stuff by heart and really know that and have it down and then go on with other stuff. No, it's more like, this is more like exploration material. You take something and you go for that and you put it in different versions and other techniques I will show you very soon here. And then you always will learn something from that. Okay, so when I take this F major here, now I'm just following the same voice leading rule. And the voice leading rule is that what it's actually giving here with these examples. So if I have like an F major here, how it's written there, and I go to this B dominant 7 without the fifth chord, I see, okay, the third of the major of the F major chord will stay. The F will just go a whole step down, which is actually like a diminished third down from F to D sharp. Yeah, that's a voice leading here happening, and the yeah, so from there to, and the top note, the C, the fifth of F major, will become the root of the dominant seventh chord, the B7 without the fifth. So that's my voice leading rule. Now, what I'm doing, I pick now a different form of F major, drop 2 voicing, and I will take the same voice leading rule. My third will stay, my fifths will go down to the root of B7, and my F, my root of F major, will go down to the third of B dominant sevenths. Yeah? Same thing, and that's actually programmed in most of all these examples, studies, is that we still are in drop 2. Yeah. So if we take another inversion of this F major chord, we are still in drop 2. So all what follows when we follow the voice leading rule, the correct voice leading, then we go through the different forms of drop 2 voicings. Okay, so we have F major going to B dominant 7th. If we go further, same thing. You can just figure out this for yourself. Then we go to E minor here. Yeah, so this, starting with that inversion, leads to that. And then we would go to the next step. It would be like, yeah, so F major, third will stay, and then going to E minor, which is also very nice voice leading from this dominant 7th sound without the 5th, because the 5th, the root of the dominant 7th chord will stay, and then we have like contrary motion. So we go up to the root and down to the 3rd. So that's a nice inversion, nice voice leading. So we have can also go on, of course, but then it will be just a repeat of the basic voicings, you can say. I mean, of course, it's like an octave higher. It would be like it would be here now, and all the fingerings are different and so on. But it's the same. Let's say it's the same structure. It's the same inversion. It's the same drop form. It's the same chord. Okay. What we actually just did was we played like 3 different 3-note structures in drop 2 in all possible inversions and root position. So actually it's quite a lot what we did. And we thought about, of course, voice leading and everything. So this also teaches us a different approach to harmony. That's one thing we can do. Yeah, to stay in this drop form, what's written there, and mostly it's drop 2 or close position. Occasionally it's different, but you can figure that out, of course. What we also can change is the spacing, is a drop form. So we can find the close position version. So close position means all the notes are together. I don't have to explain that again. So for example, F major to B dominant 7 to E minor. Yeah, same thing. Same voice leading. And because it's programmed in these patterns, we will not change the spacing. It will remain all the time in a close position. Yeah? F major to that's all. And so on. So now we practiced all these 3 different 3-note structures in close position in all the different inversions and root position. If you follow the different lessons on 3-note structures, on the different spacings of like any possible 3-note structures, which there are 19, you know that there are like 6 groups of different spacings. So 6 different different possibilities how a three-note structure can be played on the guitar. And that is, if we take our major F major chord, for example, or let's take maybe a C major chord for now to make it really obvious and simple. Let's take this one, C major 7, C major triad, and that's the inversion doesn't matter now. It's in first inversion, but we don't care about. That's close position. All the notes are together in the range is not exceeding a major seventh. All right, then we can drop the 3. That's drop 3 voicing. That's a drop 3 C major, and of course we have all this. We have all these different inversions and root positions. Root position, and then instead of dropping 3, we can also drop 2. Yeah, that's what we just did. So we have. And we can have a we can drop both. We can drop 3 and 2. So that's that one. So we have okay. So we have 4 different ones, and the next 2 are both like double drop 2 versions. So we take the second note from top and we drop it down 2 octaves. So and we keep this the 3 the same. So you can also play it here. So it's that chord. Yeah. And we can additionally do like a drop 2 and a drop 3. Yeah, remember we always come from close position. So this is the 3, and we drop it down 1 octave. So we have that chord. So we have this C major, nice structures. Yeah. Okay, so let's take that structure, for example. Let's take F major in double drop 2, drop 3, and then we just follow. Yeah, we just follow this voice leading progression, just starting with a different drop form of this 3-note chord, 3-note structure. So F, B dominant 7th, E minor. Put the next we can't do because we can't go lower here. So if we take a higher one, F major, going to or F major. Yeah, to really to find out all this voice leading, these progressions, what note is going to which note, and so on, and the names and so on of the notes. It would be good to really know your fretboard very well, you know. But of course, this is like a great musical great exercise also for just that, learning notes on the fretboard. It's really good, you know. You really actually you learn a lot of stuff here when you do this, when you do these when you take these individual patterns and move them in all the different kinds of inversions, root position, and these 6 different groups of spacings. All right, I think that's it for this lesson. Next lesson I will go through different patterns which you already find in this PDF today. Just down the description below. Please download that. And then yeah, we will talk about the other ones. Now we just talked about this basic procedure which you can do with all of them. And next lesson we will take some and yeah, then maybe also some explanations for different forms and what's happening there and so on. I think we need a lesson to just clarify these remaining five pages. There might be some stuff which need some explanation. Okay, I think you got this idea, huh? What to do. I mean, you can just move on by yourself, just taking any of these forms and then try to and then go through the different spacings and inversions and so on. And that's also something you can do for everything. You know, you don't have to just remain to these patterns. If you just have like this kind of a thing yourself, you find like these like two really nice chords fitting together with a kind of voice leading. You can also approach that by finding all these different kinds of spacings and really look very close at what notes are moving when you have like two different chords. Anyway, this is maybe a bit messy. What I just maybe a bit confusing. I could just explain you much more and talk much more, because it's a very big subject, which is sometimes a bit difficult to like to focus on one thing, because it has so many connections in like theory, whatever. I will just stop this lesson before it's getting really confusing, also for myself. I see you in the next lesson. So let's say goodbye, of course, but also please, if you like these lessons here, press the subscribe button and the bell button to get notifications when the new video will be released. Every week it will be the case. And also there's a possibility to donate. Just follow the link down in the description below to my website. There's a button on the Guitar Academia page where you can donate. This would make me really happy. Also to support this channel and that you get more involved, and we will just have a great time going a long way. I mean, there's still so much stuff to cover, so many topics, and would be cool that the whole thing is really working here. All right, anyway, so have a good time. See you next week, next lesson. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. My name is Huub Hildenbrand.